Breaking into product in 2026 is not as simple as it used to be, but it is definitely not impossible. You just need a little shift in your approach. Let's talk about it. If you're new here, hi, my name is Miracle, but you can call me Product Sis. I am a product management professional, educator, and creator. And on this channel, I share simple and practical insights on product management, career growth, and personal development. So today, I want to share my honest thoughts on breaking into product in 2026. So based on observation, research, I want to share what has changed, what really matters now, and what I would do differently if I were starting today. Now, if you've been in the product space for a while, you agree with me, like I said earlier, product management in 2026, in fact 2025 into 2026, doesn't necessarily feel like or look like the way it did back then. Like think 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. Right now, it feels like there are fewer entry-level roles, the expectations are higher, and you're often competing with people who already have product experience in some shape or form. And if you've been feeling stuck or a little bit frustrated or confused, this might be the reason, not the full reason, but let's actually dissect and see what's actually changing. Now, first and foremost, right now, a lot of companies are leaning toward domain knowledge and specialization. And I feel like this is good news for career switchers, those that already have some level of expertise in a particular domain, in a particular function, in a particular specialization, and are looking to transition into product management. This is what's going on in the space. So instead of hiring generalists everywhere, companies and teams are looking for product managers who understand a specific space. Think fintech, think growth, think cloud, think AI, think health tech as well. Beyond just these domains and these areas, if you look at business models, there's been a rise in D2C, B2B especially, and honestly, it kind of makes sense because of it feels as though in the subscription economy, there's been some sort of like struggle when it comes to purchasing power. We have a lot of SaaS products, and so it's possible that consumer purchasing power is actually dropping. And so a lot of companies are investing in B2B products, enterprise-based products. And so if you're a product manager or maybe you're a career professional that have some level of experience within that space, it will be or might be easier for you to land a role because they are more particular about that domain knowledge, and then maybe your knowledge about product management in terms of working with engineers, cross-functional collaboration, strategy can be something that you can build and grow in on the job. Now, while that is happening on one side, on the other side of the coin, there seems to be an emphasis on outcome over output. Gone are the days where all you can say in an interview or on your CV is, I shipped 5 features. I shipped 3 features. I worked on 3, 4 PRDs. Now, hiring managers, companies, recruiters are looking out for outcome. They're looking at metrics. What changed as a result of the output? Did adoption increase? Did adoption drop? Did you reduce customer acquisition cost and increase lifetime value? Metrics seems to be the language for the season. It seems to be the buzzword, things that hiring managers are looking out for. And this is something that, especially if you are early in your career, maybe you just joined this startup, this is something I always encourage my early career product managers to be intentional about when they are building that MVP, when they are building or taking that product from 0 to 1, from idea to launch, from idea to commercialization. You want to be mindful of the outcome that you are seeking to drive for your organization so that it's easier for you when you are refining, revamping your CV for your next level. So think your skills, your domain, the outcomes that you can point to. The second thing I want to talk about is your conversations with hiring managers. So think about the fact that you've gone through the CV stage. You've also gone through maybe a conversation with someone from the talent team, a recruiter, and then you get to the part where you have to have conversations with hiring managers and maybe other stages beyond. One thing I've observed or I've noticed is the fact that hiring managers are less concerned ish. Now, take that with a grain of salt. It depends on your context. They are less concerned about how many frameworks you know as a product manager. So I know you want to talk about Moscow, you want to talk about the Kano model and things like that. They are less concerned about that, and they are more concerned about how you think as a product manager, as an individual, and how you translate that into your role as a product manager. This is very important. They want to know, can you take a messy problem and make sense of it? Can you explain your thinking clearly? And can you work well with a team? Can you work beyond your team? Can you work well with your core team that's engineering, data, depending on the structure of the organization? Can you work with stakeholders beyond your team? So think cross-functional collaboration, think conversations with senior leadership as well, both product leadership and also leadership across functions. These are things that they are looking out for. Also, another thing is our managers are looking for real examples that show how you approach problems and make decisions. This is something that you can easily get from your previous roles or from your side projects, depending on what's expected and the levels that you're going for in your role. In your conversations with hiring managers, they are also looking for real examples, no matter how small. They just want something that can show how you approach problems and how you make decisions. This is why things like case studies, side projects, internal initiatives, or even things or work that you did in your previous role really matter. Not because they are perfect, but because they show how you think and how you learn, how you adopt concepts, and how you adapt them to your unique context. And even if numbers are small, being able to say, here's the outcome of what I worked on, or here are the lessons from what I worked on, it really goes a long way. So be mindful of this as you build your career. Another thing I want to talk about is the myth of just take a course. I see this all the time. A lot of people are told, just take a course and you'll be ready. And while I do not deny the fact that courses can be helpful, especially if you are in your early stage of transitioning, there are no magic answers anymore. Courses are great for learning the terminologies, the fundamentals, the language of product, and understanding how product management work in theory. But in 2026, they are not enough on their own. It is not enough to learn from these courses. What really makes the difference is what you do with the knowledge. Are you practicing it? Are you applying it? Are you owning problems even in a small way? This really matters, and it can show up in different ways. It could look like a side project you're working on. And honestly, we live in a time where you do not have any excuse anymore. With the rise of vibe coding, AI, side project work just went to a whole new level. So you could work on a side project. Secondly, it could be like an initiative at work where you can apply certain product principles based on what you've learned. Also, you could shadow a product manager, especially if you're working in a product-led organization where product is emphasized, right? And the product team actually exists and they are practicing product managers in your organization. You looking to transition, you could actually establish a relationship with this product manager. I remember one time when I was working at Spotify, one of my mentors was actually mentoring someone that was a data scientist. She wanted to be a data product manager. So she established a mentor-mentee relationship with my own mentor, and the transition became easier for her. So some of you that are working currently in a product-led organization, you are sitting on this opportunity that is close to you. So shadow a product manager, ask them questions. Don't just bury your heads in courses. Don't just bury your heads in books. Shadow these people. Ask them to be a part of maybe refinement if it's something that the team would allow, so that you can start seeing the things that you're reading in books, learning in courses happen in real time. Again, when it comes to courses, I always emphasize the goal is not certificate. I think that's where a lot of people miss it. I get it that there are some professional certificates actually recognized. By all means, you can get them. I plan to get mine as well. But at the core, the goal of courses should not be to just badge a certificate and just put it on your CV. And when they call you for an interview, you have nothing to show for it. You can't even apply in an imaginative sense how you would approach that situation if you were placed in that example, that context. So please learn with courses, but at the end of the day, what would matter is your ability to apply, to articulate, to think, leveraging the principles that you've learned from those courses and applying it to real life situations and conversation. Now we've talked a bit about the things that are going on in the space. Now this is not an exhaustive list. If there are some things that I've missed, again, that is why we are a learning and growing community. Please let me know in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. Now let's quickly go to what I would do differently if I were starting all over in 2026. Now, apart from the basics, which is learn fundament, get to understand a bit about product management, what it entails, the tools, the skills, and all those good stuff. I want to zone in on a few more points in addition to that. First one is understand your market. I'll take time to understand, observe, research on what companies in my region or industry are actually hiring for. And if you're an early career PM, this one is very important, especially if you don't necessarily have much professional experience. This kind of gives you a glimpse of how to design your path, your career path, in such a way that you are best positioned for the opportunities that are being promoted in your industry or in your region. So take, for example, in Nigeria, and I was sharing this briefly with one of my mentees. In Nigeria, you will notice that there's been a rise, not just a rise, it's quite dominating now. When you think of products in Nigeria, the first one is fintech in different forms, from microfinance to personal finance to insurance. Fintech is something that is really out there. Logistics, I think I posted this on my LinkedIn briefly. I might put it somewhere on my screen because I'm just adding this on the spot. But you see, spaces like fintech, right, is really booming in Nigeria. And then in Europe, you see a rise of health tech. Now, there's also finance as well that is really booming. You're seeing even subsections of that. You're hearing insurance tech, things around lending, borrowing. You're seeing things around energy. I've started seeing that even on LinkedIn. You're seeing roles around energy. When I mentioned B2B, B2C, right, there's a rise of enterprise products as well. And so it's very important for you to know the difference between your own region and another region so that you can best position yourself. In Nigeria, you can't say, oh, your first product management role must be in the edtech space. Now, I'm not saying it is impossible, but you're going to struggle. You're going to be frustrated. There are edtech products in Nigeria, but when you're starting out, you want to go for an area that's a bit easier compared to the area you would have gone for, which will frustrate you even more. Now, there are special cases where you can stumble upon role you want, the perfect role for you. But when you're starting out, I think you want to lean into the area that kind of gives you the best opportunity to at least get your first product manager title on your CV. Okay? So yeah, I will understand the market, what are companies hiring for in my region, and I would try to create a path for myself and target those roles. The second thing I would do is I will not try to do this alone. I will not try to do this alone. 2026 is not a year you transition or you build your career in isolation. I would leverage community and mentorship, and I would do that as soon as possible. Why am I saying this? Being around people, and if you can even streamline it to that specific area you're building your career. I think there's a community on LinkedIn that is, I think it's for Africa, builders in fintech. A community like that, if you're trying to break into product management and you want to build a career in the fintech space, that's a perfect environment. You see, being a part of a community and being around people that are actively building their careers in product gives you perspective, feedback, and reassurance when things feel unclear. So you have access, you're in close proximity to people that can help you. And I mean actual community, if possible. If you can find communities that are very, very small in nature, just so that you have that sense of accountability, please go for it. And then in the areas of mentorship, especially in the times we're living in where the space is a bit chaotic, you're trying to learn fundamentals. AI is one side, they're talking about vibe coding, they're talking about AI product management. You want to establish a relationship with a mentor, someone that is already, you can start with like just any product professional, someone that is willing to lean into their expertise to help your journey. And as you grow and you kind of identify the areas you want to double down on, then you find mentors that are specific. So like me now, I really love things around growth, product management, payments, pricing strategy, things like that. So at the level because I'm a mid-level going into senior, I would want to find someone that has gone ahead of me or has walked that path basically and established that relationship with them. It will make it easier and I could ask them questions while I'm dealing with things at work. The next thing I would do is I would build something small but real and learn how to talk about impact. So with the times we're in right now with vibe coding, it's a perfect time. So you can go from idea to prototype to MVP, something usable very fast. This year, I plan to build two apps. There's one product that I've had, like I did a whole research in 2023. Like I have it on my Notion somewhere. And I'm really excited and I'm looking forward to building the actual product with vibe coding this year. Let me know if you want me to keep you in the loop on that. I'll give you the gist later. But yeah, build something real, no matter how small. When you learn about product development lifecycle, challenge yourself to be able to go from an abstract idea to research to design. These days, you don't have to design anymore. There are platforms that can help you do the design for you and go to something that users can use and then you can get feedback. You don't have to go global. You just need something you can document that feels real and you're not going to every single time generating examples from ChatGPT that you are out of touch with. Please, right? So prioritize building something as you transition or as you're looking forward to stepping into that next level. And the next thing I'll prioritize is communication and visibility. Now, not in the sense that you think. So yes, as a product manager, every year is very important that you strive towards building your communication skills. Very important because that's a huge part of the work. But now this is more focused on you transitioning. If you're in a product-led organization, visibility is key. I was telling another of my mentees that you cannot say you want to transition into product management and nobody knows about it. They would know to recommend you when the opportunities come. And I remember speaking to her, I was like, you have engineers in your organization, right? Does your company know that they're in need of a product person to help that team? And she said no, and I encouraged her, and she actually acted on it and spoke to the CEO. And now she has transitioned, or at least she has moved a step further from just being customer support to product support. And they even got her like a training to step into a product management role. So this is something you want to prioritize in 2026, especially if you're a working professional and you're in a product-led organization. Please and please don't stay silent. Reach out, let people know that you're looking to transition so that they know to think about you first when the opportunities come. So visibility and communication. And finally, I'll get on the AI train. I am not against AI. I think the issue I have with AI is the fact that a lot of people have delegated their thinking to AI. And I'm going to have a different conversation about this. But AI is here to stay. And the earlier you jump on it, the better. Understand where you stand with AI, especially as a product manager or an aspiring product manager. There are two sides to AI. There is the AI product manager and there is the AI powered product manager. I feel like a lot of people will start with AI powered product manager and then try get, if your path is becoming an AI PM, by all means do that, right? But an AI powered product manager is one who leverages AI tool for their day-to-day, be it as individuals or even at work. You're curious about how AI can actually make your work better, how it can optimize your workflow. So get on the AI train, either to vibe code your projects or for your day-to-day tasks as a product manager, or even if you're looking towards transitioning into the AI product manager specialization, by all means do that. But I would hop on the AI train as soon as possible. Like once you're done with this video, do that quickly. I want to say this clearly. While it is true that product management has changed across the years, it is still possible to step into your desired product management role. It will take patience, it will take intentionality, but it is not impossible. And I am here. That's why I created this channel. I want to be able to help people that are navigating their career in product, either aspiring, early career PM, whatever stage you're on. I want to help you make sense of your journey. I want to help you actually grow into this space, grow into this role. And so I want to hear from you. What are the challenges that you're currently facing either as a practicing PM, as an aspiring product manager, please send a message to the product sis at gmail.com, because I want to make sure every video, every resource that comes your way from me this year is actually valuable and actionable. So please write to me. What are the product challenges that you're facing? You faced in 2025, you're currently facing stepping in 2026 that you will need help with. I cannot wait to hear from you. See you in the next video.